There we go. There we go. Hey, how's it going? Hopefully, I think my audio is good. Should be about right. I've been changing this setup a ton lately, so everything's constantly changing, and then I have to go back and find my right settings and stuff like that again and again and again. And anyway, so hopefully it's okay. That everything looks good. Picture looks good. Man, it looks great. Hi, JW Pitbull. Jen, hey Mark, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, exciting day. The let's see. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna play the video of I was out at a glacier and I was recording it with the new little Deity S-Mic 2S microphones, which are fantastic. I'm gonna be releasing a whole video on those soon, which is gonna be a great video, by the way. But I was out recording some more of glaciers because I was trying to catch the glacier being active, moving, cracking, popping, falling apart, whatever. And it took a bit, but I did capture one the other day and it was really cool. So if, stick around if you want to see that video. Because yeah, it was awesome. So say hi if you're in the chat. Let me know how things are going. There wasn't a lot I wanted to cover today other than my lens is on its way back from Tamron. It has been fixed. It was faulty. So I'm excited to get that back when I get it back. Hopefully not too much longer. I think Thursday or something like that. I have some other things coming that I'm excited about too, to review and test for people, which is going to be exciting. The next video you guys will see is the video about this one here, this little red, green, blue light, RGB light, which is really lots of fun. I'm almost done editing that. Shot a bunch of this on the other day. And it's a cool video because to shoot this, we went up in the mountains, of course, because there's mountains everywhere. And then we went to find a mine shaft to shoot because it's a light and it was super bright sunlight out there, but went to find a mine shaft to shoot this review in, or some of it, at least a lot of it, to test out the red, green, blue and some of the other effects that this light has, which is really cool. So that'll be a fun video. That's coming Monday. And then the next video you see, I think I'm doing a what's in my bag video now that I've kind of narrowed down what's actually in my bag. And then after that will be the video about the Deity S-Mic 2S will be coming too, which is excellent. Excellent microphone. It's what you're listening to now, what you listened to on the last stream as well. So, yeah. In other news, hey, Real Light, welcome. In other news, I am currently shooting this on the A6400 with the Sigma 16mm lens, which is a great combo. Weather has changed from summer to massively fall. We've had a few frosts. The mountains have all got fresh snow, and it's definitely, we've hit the fall weather, and hopefully we won't like jump into massive winter right away, but the way it's going so far, I don't know. It looks like it might. We'll see. So, yeah, that is what's been happening. So what's happening with all you people, all you fine folks watching out there? Let's see. There's something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, I am working on a video about audio. So I'm curious. I have this here. This thing here, which is my binaural audio recording setup, which is really great. So I've been recording some videos with that. You can look on Instagram or Twitter. Instagram's probably easier to find the video. That was recorded using this. So, and you got to use headphones. You want to use headphones because that's what gives you the full experience. So, but I'm curious to hear from you all. If I recorded a few more videos or maybe edited a video that was like Alaska ASMR, which is recorded with this, it gives you like it's not hyper real, but it's an extremely real experience. If I recorded a few videos with that and put them together, would you be interested in something like that? Because it's very interesting. Like the other day when I was out recording the glacier and waiting for it to fall apart, I took this and ran up to the entrance of a few different glacier caves and places like that and recorded with this this little mic here, just so you all could have an idea of what it sounds like, and it's really cool. So yeah, anyway, it should be fun. You could, yeah. So anyway, I'm planning on video, but I'm curious what you all think, if this would be something you'd be interested in, to show and to talk about the different ways to record audio for video. You can record audio like I'm currently doing, which is in mono. You can record it in stereo, and then you can record it with something like this, the binaural rig. Anyway, I started recording that video, and it's going to be in several different locations by the time I get done with it, but it should be pretty cool, I think. And yeah, so we'll see about that. But I was hoping to record some more today with Keith flying in his small plane this morning. Unfortunately, the wind was blowing and gusting very hard, so that canceled our plans for that today. Anyway. Let's see, Mark H, the A6400 does shoot 4K? It does, and it shoots really great 4K, actually. The A6400 and the A7 III are two really good cameras to pair together for an A camera, B camera. I started using the A6400 more of like my A camera when I'm out and about, if I have it on a gimbal, so because it doesn't have any sort of stabilization. But with the Tamron, or with the Sigma 16mm, has a really nice field of view. The lens is incredibly sharp and really good autofocus. But I've been using it because I started using the Rode Wireless Go a little bit more, because I've been doing more stuff like at distances from the camera, and yeah, it really works. It works really, really well because it has a little flip-up screen. So, and it's a little more small, a little more compact for when I'm doing certain types of trips. But yeah, Real Light, you got the A64. Hey, that's a great setup, man. Great setup. 17 to 28 and the 28 to 75. Can't wait for the 70 to 180. Yeah, you and me both, man. That lens, I can't wait for that lens. And when I was talking with Tamron, when they had their rep up here, I mentioned, yeah, the rumor is it's 70 to 180, and he laughed. He said, oh, is that what they're saying it is? So it makes me wonder if it is actually 70 to 180 or if he was just, being fun. Anyway, so yeah, I like the A6400 is a great camera. I wish it had, image stabilization built in, or a lens with image stabilization, which I just didn't buy, but it would be nice. But once you put it on a gimbal, it's a great camera, great combo, and it does really, really well. Actually, it does better than I expected in low light. So I still like the A7 III for most things, but the A6400 has been great. So yeah, and for this audio video I'm going to be doing here in the next couple weeks, I'm going to put together an audio/video rig that is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, but it will be fabulous. And if I can go outside and shoot some stuff when we have a couple of windows or pockets of decent weather, it'll be really fun. It'll be a fun video. So, not to say that the one that we did filming this isn't a fun video, because we did, we went way up into this old valley where there used to be a gold mine back in the 30s and 40s. And the mine, is all gone. Most of the equipment's it's there, but it's just piles of rust for the most part. But the mine shafts, it's one of the few places that I found where the mine shafts haven't been closed up or collapsed completely. So you can actually get back into the mine shafts a little ways. As far as, how safe they are, I don't know. They're, the one we went into, it was safe enough. It was a little scary, but it was safe enough. So, let's see. Real Light, you really hope one of Tamron's primes is a 51.8. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I don't know. it makes no sense to me to do a prime at anything less than a 1.8, just because you're not dealing with the zoom, and that's why most zooms to have a constant range of zoom have to be at 2.8, just because the amount of lens elements you have to have in order to make it work. But for a prime, you should be able to do much better and much more open, because you're not moving lenses around, or not moving multiple sets of lenses around, I should say. So, and you just ordered the Ronin NC, so you don't mind the no stabilization as a B cam. Sit on a tripod. Yeah, and that's what I've been doing most of the time when I'm out. I set the camera on a tripod and then run around and film myself doing it. It's really nice. So Mark H, yeah, the mine shaft, it is pretty cool. It's yeah, so it'll be coming, that video will release tomorrow. I have a couple more things to record for it. And it's a review of this light. I feel like I've been doing a ton of reviews lately. But there are some tips in it on how to use a light like this for different things. And man, that really blows out. I'm really impressed this light. It's not waterproof or anything like that, but it's small. It's a fairly small form factor. It's a little less than a pound, and it has a lot of output, and it has a lot of capabilities out there. I think Gerald Undone did a great video about it too. He reviewed it not too long ago, but it's a really nice light, and I'm really glad to add it. I might try and get a second one for product photography, and for some stuff I'm trying to do this winter inside of the ice caves. I would like to have 2 RGB LED lights to take with me down into the ice caves for some light painting tutorials that I want to do. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Thanks, Mark. Yeah. Man, I really want to find out what those primes are Tamron's releasing. I'm really hoping those are good. This one, depending on where you are in the world, of course, but I think this one, in the US on Amazon, it runs $159, I think, which really isn't bad. So on full power, it ran about 2.5 hours, and that's at 100%, which it has a lot of output. And yeah, and then the fact that it does both. So if you do this, allow me to show you. So it does, you can go anywhere from like 8,500 Kelvin down to 2,500 Kelvin. You can dim it all the way down to like 1%, just something ridiculously small. And then you can, let's see, you can do the color changing, of course, and it does like where it'll cycle through. It does police lights. What is this? TV. There's lightning. Broken light bulb kind of thing. And there's this one, which is actually one of my favorites. Oh no, that's not the one. Sorry, hold on. Come in. There we go. This one, which is like emulating candlelight, which is cool. And then it does, like, it'll cycle through the RGB spectrum slowly or fast. And so, yeah. And then it's little metal clip stand thing that you can move around and has a bunch of little quarter-20s. You can really, it's impressive. I like it. I think this is going to stay in my bag from now on. Before this, I was using an Aperture Light little ALM M9. Little tiny one, which was great, but it just didn't have a lot of power for when I was going in some bigger spaces. So, yeah, real light. So yeah, about $159 on Amazon, I think, is what it is. Let's see. Drone Worship. Hey, military grade tech phone. Man, I don't do phones. I have no idea. The Nokia 6120. If you remember that phone, the 6120 from Nokia, it was the little one that was like that big, buttons on the front. Well, that thing was bulletproof, man. Yeah, I think any of the smartphones now, they're not going to do well. They're just not. They got too much screen, too much real estate. And so, but you can find an old Nokia. And I know there are some flip phones out there now that are like military grade that really stand up to stuff. You should look at, what is it? Armilotech. I gotta look them up on Twitter. Hold on. Anyway, there's a company out there that does cases for phones that does really, really, they're really good cases, and they're not huge or expensive either, but they're really good cases from what I've seen. Like he's had Teslas and trucks drive over phones with them in his case, and the phones come out just fine. I don't know what the highest drop is he's done, but you could reach out and see. If he wants to try it, do a big drop with one of the smartphones. I'd be scared to do anything. Man, I gotta remember his name. Oh, it's Armadillo Tech. Yeah, Armadillo Tech is the name of the company. Anyway, puts out some pretty sweet phone cases. Yeah, man, I don't know, have any idea. Nokia 6190 from the top of a roller coaster, Nevada, California. Found the pieces, put it back together, and it worked for 3 weeks before it died. That's awesome. So I had a Nokia 6120, I think it was a 6120. And I was working like 35 feet or 40 feet up on the side of a building, way up high, and it fell out of my pocket and landed on cement floor. And I watched as the pieces hit the ground and just blew out like that. Put it back together, and the thing turned right back on and just kept on working, ticking just fine. So I wouldn't try that with my smartphone, I'll say that much, man. Not anymore. So, okay. So I went out to the glacier partly because I have been trying desperately to catch the last few days, messing with my audio a little bit, catch the last few days of decent weather when I could get across the lake in my kayak and have fun, and actually get some decent weather and stuff. And so hopefully this will play. I think it will. And so I went over, I set up some microphones. Man, I just missed two gigantic pieces. Like as I pulled my kayak off, I heard them go, and I pulled my kayak up out of the water. And just as I got the kayak out of the water, I watched the water drop down 3.5 feet and then surge up 3.5 feet, which is the wave. So it was a 3.5 foot, 4 foot wave from where I was, which was around a corner in very deep water. Then the piece that had come off the glacier was very large, or it was a lot at the very least. So I didn't catch any giant pieces because literally as I was setting everything up to record and then also get the audio, pieces are coming off left and right. And as soon as I started recording, everything stopped for a while. But I did catch a piece coming off. So I was going to play. It's like 2 minutes-ish. But it gives you the idea of, one, what these DD S-Mic 2s, S-Mic 2S's can do, which is awesome. And, right, drone worship? But also gives you an idea what it sounds like when you're standing next to one of these glaciers, watching and listening to them crack and creak and groan and pop and go. So hopefully I got this queued up right, and hopefully it will play. All right, I'm going to start that over because the audio wasn't working. So we're going to start again, and this time the audio will work because I got it set up now. So what you got to understand, thank you very much. What you got to understand is those were the smallest pieces that came off that day. This is why I don't leave these live streams up on public on my page anymore. Anyway, those are the smallest pieces that came off. So that big piece that came off at the end, that was like about the size of a school bus. Those were the smaller pieces that came off that day. A little bit after that, we went through and I had gotten everything in my kayak, packed it up, and was paddling around that area that was falling. And I paddled around and pulled off on another beach and was going to check. And just as I pulled out, I heard, of course, tremendous noise. And then watched as ice chunks and water got thrown for hundreds and hundreds of feet, and then a 5 or maybe 6 foot wave that went out, which means I had just missed a giant piece of it coming off. I was so bummed. And that's the thing, when you go out and record these glaciers, like, you could sit there all day or for days on end and not see anything happen. And then if you were there at the right time, like, it's spectacular. So anyway. No, drone worship, I don't delete them. I just make them unlisted. I leave them on my channel, but I make them unlisted. I don't there's not a high replay value in my opinion. So anyway, yeah, but it was spectacular. So that video, you will see that video again in the DD S Mic 2 video when I release that next week. Might be the week after that. But anyway, when I release that video, you'll see that video, because that was recorded with the DDS Mic 2s. So anyway, and yeah, it was spectacular to watch that. And then, I was, because I'd missed a couple of really big calving events that happened right before I got out there, and then happened while I was setting up and stuff like that. While I was recording, because I recorded about 3 hours of video and audio recorded to find that one little section, or to capture that. The rest of the time I was running around recording other stuff in other parts. I found some massive ice caves I want to go explore this winter when they're safe. But I also found big chunks of ice in the place where I had been running around, which means at some point when glacier stuff had come off, it had thrown chunks of ice up onto those rocks. So, cool, drone worship. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So yeah, I realized, I know that glaciers do that. If a big chunk comes off, they're going to throw ice a long way. And so you got to watch out. But, yeah, it was interesting. And then I found some ice caves up there that are basically looks like the glacier comes down the mountain and hits a rock ridge like this and goes up over the top. But when it goes up over the top, just like a river going over a rock at really high speed, it creates an air bubble on the underneath inside. The glacier's doing the same thing. So once everything stops dripping and melting, I'm going to go back and check those out. Assuming the lake freezes and I can get out there. See you, Agent K. Have fun. I'll be headed there myself shortly. A little behind you, but yeah, that's where I'm headed after this. Mark H. That was shot. I was what was I? Yeah, it's hard to gauge. Probably 400 feet away from that ice that fell there. Yeah. There are telltale signs. So you can hear when stuff is active, when things are moving, it's cracking, booming, popping a lot, and you can definitely tell that stuff's happening. Sometimes you can watch cracks appear and spread, depending on how it comes apart. Sometimes you just don't know. It just happens. And so setting up in a safe location. So I was up high. I was probably 200 feet up on a rock and then maybe 400 feet away, which is getting kind of close depending on the size chunk that comes down. But there were also a lot of rocks that I could have dropped behind. I set the mics up on top of a rock like this, and then right behind that rock was a big, deep crevice that I was in, and had most of my stuff kind of stored in, so that if anything did fly overhead, I could drop into that crevice, much like a trench, and take cover in that crevice and hide while the ice came falling down around me. Hopefully not. So it was really fun. It was a beautiful day. I hadn't been out there on a day where things had been that active, and I sitting there, I could listen to the glacier. There are several huge crevasses right behind the face of the glacier, and I could hear things falling apart inside of those crevasses back in there. And I was hoping that like a huge chunk of that face would come down. It didn't. It might have by now because it's been terrible, wet, windy weather. But yeah, I was hoping it would come down, man. That would have been amazing to catch that on camera and with the audio. Because these DD mics, man, they record really good audio. I've been super impressed. Yeah, I'm not going to try and do that. I was going to try and... Well, okay, I will real quick. I'm gonna send myself a another video because I did some drone footage while I was there. So I'm gonna shoot myself the video, which is this one here. And this isn't long, it's like 40 seconds, but it'll give you an idea of the size of the crevasse because I flew my drone through it. Yeah. I attempted fate again to see if I can fly my drone through this crevasse, and I did, and it was huge and it was beautiful, but it was also a little scary. So almost there. I'll send this to myself here. There we go. And then as soon as it pulls in, I will I'm gonna do this here. Why is it waiting? Maybe not. It doesn't want to airdrop. Come on. Let's try it again. So, anyway, it was fun. It was great. Good day out there. Beautiful weather. Nice day. One of the last few nice days that we've had. And then it just has been wet, windy, rainy, and nasty ever since. So, tell me if that's better, Mark. It might be. It might have been because I was trying to send myself something. Over messenger or over AirDrop, which I think probably uses a lot of Wi-Fi bandwidth. So let me try this again. See if I can do it this way. There we go. Better now, momentary. Good. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. The amount of hoops I got to jump through to do this. It's ridiculous. I'll forget that. Okay. Anyway, so maybe I'll just throw this up on my Instagram or something so y'all can see this. But for now, how about this? Whoops. I came down I went through this crevasse and then flew down. You can just see me down on the left hand or lower right hand side there. Anyway, it was, yeah, great day. I set my drone out there to, try and hopefully catch something, but it didn't catch anything. So, whatever. That's the thing. You kind of you hope for the best. If you get something, and I feel pretty lucky that I got what I got. We got some great sound, great video, and then, that might be it for the rest of the year. I do plan on going back out there in the middle of winter when it's 17 below to try and capture some more audio of it in the winter because it's very cool. So, Mark, my internet is as fast as I can get in Alaska, in the state of Alaska. It's not that fast. Well, it's pretty fast, but it just, yeah, Alaska has some challenges that way. So the Micro Four Thirds sensor, that'll be interesting. I haven't seen any information about that. Posse piano? Posse piano? Yeah. Anyway, 47, 8K 30 MFT. Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm not really sold on the whole, like, I don't, if they start pushing 8K, I personally, I would much prefer 4K 60 at like a 10-bit high color depth 422 than I do care about like 6K or 8K necessarily. And of course, when they release these sensors, like, it can be, what the sensor can do is one thing. What the camera that sensor's in can do is a whole nother ball game. So, what other manufacturers, what other camera manufacturers, good Lord, what they use that sensor for and how they use that sensor and what sort of capabilities they use with it will determine a lot. And so it'll be interesting to see. I really hope that Sony releases the A7S III soon. I would really like to get that. Yeah, exactly. Like the GH7 or whatever, the next one is. Anamorphic 5K. Stuff like that would be cool. I wouldn't mind recording in 6K. But 4K is great. It's gonna be a few years probably till 8K or 6K really takes hold. Well, 8K. I know they're starting to do 8K TVs and stuff, so that'll be out there. But also we'll see. It'll take some time for that stuff to get adopted. Not only for that stuff to get adopted, but for all of the infrastructure, everything that needs to be in place for that stuff to be utilized, it's going to take some time. 4K's been around for a while, and it just, even now, if most people look at their analytics on YouTube and Netflix and stuff, the vast majority of people still watch in full HD, not in 4K, not in Ultra HD. So, but it would make for some crazy beautiful video. Real light too soon for 8K. You remember Sony 4K? Yeah, if they did 4K 120, I would be just super excited. But 4K 60 in full frame, I know they can do it. If you look at the FS7, or wasn't the FS7 they just released, I think, that would be spectacular. Mark H, the 6K would be nice. Yeah, you basically have to get the new Mac Pro that Apple's got out there and pack it out and do it. Yeah, Posse Piano, I agree. 4K 60 would be, I would like 4K 60 with 10-bit color internal. I know that's asking a lot, but I would like that. I would like 4K 60 with 10-bit. Or, anyway. That's what I'm hoping for on the A7S III, and that will be my next camera. I don't really have any reason to get anything else until they release that one. But 6K, you think you have the S1H? Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that's the thing. It's that's the thing. It's like all of this stuff that's out there now, it all has the capability. Almost all of it has the capability to do a lot of this stuff. There are the sensors that Sony makes are incredible, and what they can do are incredible. But to match those sensors with the processing power required to really utilize them fully, and not just the processing power, but then also the power system. How do you power something like that with a battery? It's going to be power hungry, and so there's this balancing act of all of these different factors that have to go together. And then not to mention, consumer demand for it. Our demand for it would be great. Real light. Sony does need to match the Panasonic. Yep, exactly. It does. It needs to match Panasonic S1H. And I think it's interesting that Sony hasn't released the A7S3 yet. It's their next camera is going to be the A9. It'll be interesting to see what the A9 can do. I know it's primarily a photography camera, but it's also their flagship camera, so I'm sure it'll have some great video quality, and I think that'll give us a hint as to what the A7S3 will be able to do as well, once the A9 II is released anyway. But they do need to match the Panasonic S1H, the capability-wise. The GH5, yeah, in most cases, the only thing I would say, because I was out the other day, we were shooting with a GH5, and it's a great camera. The only thing is any sort of autofocus, which is, if you're the one shooting another subject, is not a big deal. If you understand how to, you do reasonably well with focus, you shouldn't have a problem. But the autofocusing systems that Sony is coming out with, the face tracking and the eye tracking autofocus, is just incredible for people like me, or like lots of people on YouTube who film themselves. Having that sort of reliable autofocus is crucial. And but the GH5, man, the GH5 is so nice for stabilization. The IBIS in GH5 is just and it's fantastic. And it does have good low light. We took it inside of a mine shaft, and it does have good low light. Panasonic insists on contrast AF. Yeah, and there's some chance out there that the contrast AF could be a great system in the end if Panasonic continues to develop it. There's some potential out there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. So they'll have to develop it. They'll have to develop not the focus system itself necessarily, but the AI that drives that system. They'll have to develop that, I guess. Real light, the Sony lens options are awesome. True, especially with Tamron's lenses. Yep. The running gun for photo work. Yeah, it's true. And staying light is key. And that's why I'm using so many Tamron lenses now, is just they're so much lighter and so much great. They're great to work with. So yeah, positive piano, the stabilization in the Olympus. Oh my gosh, the stabilization in that thing is ridiculous. Those cameras are just insane. And it's possible. So that's what it does make me excited to see what Sony comes out with in the A7S3, because that, hopefully they haven't oversold themselves, and they're able to really do and deliver on what they said they were going to deliver on, because people have very, very high expectations now of what they want to see happen. And if Sony oversold themselves, it's going to be a bummer. Okay, why can I not? Am I getting all glitchy? I'm just trying. I really want to send this video so I can play it for you guys. But apparently I can't do that and stream at the same time. I'm going to try one more time. See if it'll work. Nope. All right. Well, yeah. Anyway. I tried, but it's not happening. Close that. So it's an exciting time to be a creator. The tools that are being put out there are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. They're amazing. And the fact that I can run around with this camera, a lens, and mic like that, or a little headset, a little on-camera mic like my DD1 or DD3 Pro and just basically get just fantastic video 99% of the time with great audio in almost any location and almost any lighting is fantastic. It's great, and I love it. It's such a great time. The gimbals that are coming out, all that is so good. So you just use the OMD E1X. In fact, it's true. Yeah, the Olympus stuff has been fantastic. Yeah, Mark, I'm using OBS. I need to look into some other options, though. There's some things I want to do that OBS, it kind of does, but it's weird, and it's not the greatest. So I need to look around. I don't want to pay for Wirecast. I don't like Wirecast. I've used it in other places, and I just don't care for it at all. So I got to find out what else is out there and see. Realize the A7S III is turning into the mythical unicorn. Waiting this long, it better be as good than the Pana S1H. And yeah, give us the side flip screen. Oh my gosh. You're not kidding. If they wait too long, it's going to be like, they need to put it out there. They need to put it out there and pretty soon, because it is becoming a white whale or a unicorn. It's just like the mythical beast of a Sony A7S III that, yeah, we'll see. They've said they're developing it. They've said it's out there. They said it's coming. Just waiting for it. So, yeah, Mark, Ken has had challenges with Wirecast. Yeah, and I've used it in, 3 other locations and 3 other, like, not my stuff, but other stuff. I've used Wirecast, and it just, I've always had bugs with it, even if it's the most simple, straightforward setup. And so I don't like Wirecast. I'm not a big fan of Wirecast. So, Posy Piano, you're in Norway? That's awesome. Right now, what is the temperature right now? We actually just had a warm front come through, because it was 0. It was 0 to 5 or 6 in Celsius. But right now we had a warm front come through, so I think we're up in the teens. And the teens Celsius, which is kind of fun. Let's see. What are we at right now? Right now we're at 8. 8C. Tomorrow's supposed to be 11C. Yay! And then we're getting back down. So nights we're getting down to around 1 or 2 or 0. And then, that's about it. So, and Mark, thank you. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. It really, thanks a lot, Mark. I really appreciate that. Thanks for watching the videos, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's really fun. The Sony FX9 will make you huge. Yes, the FX9. That's the one I was thinking. The FX9 is a phenomenal camera. I mean, it's a cinema camera. It's much larger than this, so it's not for me and what I do yet. It's not for me what I do. But if they can take some of that stuff and squeeze it into an A7 III S3 body, man, it'll be amazing. So, yeah, it'll be phenomenal. So, yeah, I got, what else is going on? Man, I wish I could, it's dumb that I can't send that to me. Like, nothing is sending to me now. I can't even get it. I can't even do it via text. Oh, wait, maybe. It's coming through. Here we go. I'm downloading. It's coming. So hold on. I'm going to play that video for you. And you'll get to actually see that video I played, okay? So, Mark, apparently you did it. What? Your super chat did it. I'm not going to say that at all, but it made it work. So, yeah, I don't know why things are glitching. I think it's because I'm trying to send stuff to myself and download stuff in anyway. So here's the video. Here's the drone video. Me flying through this crevasse and then around. And you can see me in the lower, let's see, I think it'll be on that side of the screen. But yeah, I could have gone way lower because that's like 40 or 50 feet wide, but I was just a little too scared to with my drone after I lost my drone. I didn't want to do it again. So, but you look down, there I am, way down there on the rock. And then I'll come around here and you'll see kind of where I was recording, and I'll play a little further this time. I forgot there's audio on this, so hopefully I didn't say anything bad or do anything bad. So there's where the pieces were falling off. That's the big face. That whole thing looked like it was going to fall in any time, and it just never did. But anyway, I was up to the, let's see, that side of that. Up on those rocks there is where I was, overlooking that area. And it was wonderful. I sat there, I drank coffee, and I recorded the glacier for 3 hours. It was a spectacular day. Yeah, so there it is. You'll see some of that video soon, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about other than yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. I got a lot of stuff coming. I do want to do some more drone stuff and show you all, you know, my process for putting together drone videos, for editing drone videos, for filming drone videos, and all that. I was going to shoot some of that today. The weather's terrible, so I'm not doing that. But you know, it is what it is. So it's fun to see a bird's eye view, and that was what I was hoping to get out there to this one spot today, because all of the fall colors where this area Keith and I were going to go and land is on a riverbank, and the fall colors are like in full swing. It's been super windy, so I don't know if any of the leaves will still even be there when we go out next to check it. But if it is, we'll be going out there and we'll film some stuff. But yeah, it's a beautiful location. And yeah, there are some ice caves out there that are just, I really can't wait to go into, because they're literally, you can see the glaciers hit rocks and gone up over like this. And the way you can tell is you can see the rocks way back up in there, but the way the ice looks on the underside, like the curvature, you can see exactly where the glacier's been moving over those rocks in the ice, because it's still like the pattern or whatever in the ceiling of the cave. So it's a little scary. I got to watch it for a while and see how it's moving to make sure it's safe to go into. But if it is, it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And I'll bring you all along with me. And the cool thing is with this little guy here, this microphone system, that when I bring you with me, if you watch the video or listen to the video, watch the video with headphones in, you will feel like you are there, because you will hear everything exactly the way it is. And I did film some stuff with this when I was out there filming the glacier, and I might just throw some clips up on Instagram or something so you guys can watch and hear it, because it's just interesting when you hear the drips and the sounds of it. Just, yeah, it gives you a good idea. And so I do plan on, every time I go out, at least most times, I'm going to try and take this with me to record some sort of like that binaural experiential audio out on location, because it's really cool. It's fun to experience, I think, anyway. But yeah, other than that, I have to get going to the next thing, but I appreciate you all hanging out with me today and chatting. It's an exciting time to be like creating, man. Like the iPhone 11, it's amazing. I'm really curious to see. Okay, before I go real quick, hey Paul, welcome. I'm getting ready to head to a church service here shortly, but you missed some great glacier videos, so you may want to go back and watch. Anyway, because I did film, I was out filming with the Deity S Mic 2S, and I actually captured some chunks of the glacier coming down, which is cool, and so you'll hear it in really great stereo sound. But yeah, so you missed some of that. But so what was I gonna say? The GoPro Hero 8 should be coming any day, and I'm very curious to see what they do to compete with DJI in the action. They've really got to go. They've really got to step up the game to compete, and I'm very curious to see what they'll do. I probably will get one and push it to its limit and see how it does compared to what the GoPro Hero 7 and compared to the Osmo Action. you know, action cameras have their place. They definitely have a spot, a niche for them. You know, it's not low light and it's not in weird places, but if you're going out in inclement weather, strap onto a kayak, jump out of an airplane, anything like that, action cameras are great, assuming the light is good. But if the light's not good, action cameras are not good for that. So I'll be curious to see. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel and hanging out with me today on this live stream. I will be back next week, but I think next week I'm going to be doing a Friday night stream. So it'll be like about this same time, but on Friday. Because I've got some stuff going on Sunday next week that I don't think I'll be able to make a stream for. So hope you all can join me then. It's been fun. I love hanging out with y'all and interacting and chatting. And as always, if you want to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, please do. I chat there. I'm pretty active over there too. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be coming tomorrow, which is pretty cool because I take this light down into a mine, an old mine shaft up here, and you get to see some beautiful landscape as well as a mine shaft. And yeah, an old mine. It's a lot of fun. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me this afternoon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers.